Go ahead.
Good morning, and I would like each one of us to reminisce about two teachers that we have had. One being one of your favorite teachers or the most effective, and the other one being one of your least favorite teachers or the least effective teachers. And I'm pretty sure each one of us had the scale of the best teacher and the worst teacher. And if you self-evaluate that in your head, you can see the difference of these teachers. Maybe the most effective teacher is really relatable. For example, in my high school career, I had a physics teacher. And physics was probably my hardest subject ever because you had to grasp the concept in your head a lot. But because of my teacher, it was the easiest class I've ever taken. We did many experiments that helped me visualize the concepts of physics. Also, Mr. Hubbard was my physics teacher. He was really down to earth with the material, so he related everything that physics to real life. And because of him, physics was the easiest A I've ever earned in high school. But on the other hand, I've had the bad teachers, a share of bad teachers also. My English teacher, she gave us a lot of busy work. We did a lot of reading and then just write like paragraphs after it. And I didn't really learn anything in English, but I did the most work. And she also, for class time, she just sat in front of the class and talked for an hour. And that's really boring, and I didn't learn anything. And it was probably like the worst experience in high school I ever got. And I got a B in the class, but it was my hardest work B ever. I put in a lot of extra credit hours and participation hours and a bunch of work. And I don't feel that I deserve a B in the class. And the reason I got a B was because of the teacher. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us feel the same way about teachers. Sometimes the teacher's really good, so it helps us out, but sometimes they're really bad, which doesn't help us out. Just as Mr. Hubbard helped me do well in a tough subject, good teachers help students advance towards educational success. And because of the teachers within the charter school system, charter schools can be more beneficial to the student. In a study conducted by the Boston Foundation titled Out of the Debate and Into the Schools, 100% of Boston principals within the charter school system, compared to only 50% of principals within the public school system, they agreed that they had the right teachers to meet their student achievement goals. In other terms, this means that every principal within the charter school was confident within the teachers they had within their system that they could provide the students the right path to educational success. And this is because charter schools emphasize their hiring process. According to the Michigan State University Education Policy Center's 2004 report, Teacher Recruitment and Teacher Quality, Are Charter School Different? The hiring practices of a charter school appear to be more innovative. The hiring practices of charter schools can be broken down into two different categories. The first category is the contracts the teachers are offered can be collectively bargained, and the second category is the contracts of the teachers can be separately negotiated. So a collectively bargained contract is when the charter school is required to hire teachers that have certain requirements that match the public schools around it. And on the other hand, a contract that is negotiated separately is when the charter school does not have a set of requirements mandated by the government. So to restate these two different terms, if a principal is hiring a teacher through a collectively bargained contract, they would have to find the requirements of the public schools around it, maybe some of the degrees that public school teachers need to have, some of the requirements, some of the experience, and they have to match it before they hire the teacher. But on the other hand, when it's negotiated separately, the principals specifically focus on what they're looking for. Maybe they're not looking for experience, but they're looking for degrees. Maybe they're looking for certain qualities within a teacher over the degrees. So a contract that is negotiated separately is more focused towards a charter school. And this allows charter schools to hire teachers which they feel matches their philosophies. And this is really important within a charter school system because charter schools have a broad array of philosophies. Each school has a different mindset than the next school. So to hire a teacher that has a standardized requirement might be detrimental to the school. But instead, if the principal can focus their efforts into finding the teacher that's a perfect fit for the school, the students will benefit tremendously because the teachers work well with the working environment and they complement the overall environment. Since charter schools hire teachers to match their philosophy, each teacher would complement the school system and make achieving goals smooth. For example, the charter school Village Academy, located in New Mexico, states in their mission that a child should not only be academically educated, but also culturally competent. So most of public schools just focus on having the student learn core subjects and move on. But the Village Academy focuses on the student grasping concepts of core subjects like math and English, but also being aware of the culture around it. This certain charge school, Village Academy, follows a curriculum called core knowledge. Every teacher within Village Academy places an emphasis on content, not on the memorization of facts, and focuses more directly on teaching children how to learn so they can adapt to a rapidly changing world. Like I said earlier, the core knowledge curriculum focuses on learning about the culture around it and not on facts. So maybe for history, they will be a little more leeway, like what happened in 1963 and whatnot. And this is really different than public schools because I went to public schools and you didn't really learn about the culture unless you took place in like extracurricular activities. So within my classes, I only learned what the textbook taught me. But through charter schools and the core knowledge curriculum, they teach you what the textbook teaches you, but then they apply it to real life and how what you're learning is actually applicable in your daily lives. And since the teachers are hand-picked, they fit the education environment. This can lead to promising results. Charter schools tend to produce better scores than the surrounding public schools. According to the New York Daily Times, charter schools within New York City are doing much better than their surrounding public schools. 80% of charter schools students place above level in math compared to 62% of the charter schools in the district's region. 63% of the charter school students scored as proficient or better in English compared to 47% of the district's public schools. These results are due to the efforts of the teachers. And just as I wished every teacher I had was like my physics teacher, Mr. Hubbard, charter schools here hire similar teachers that they believe to be the most effective within their system. And on the most part, it is working. Therefore, charter schools are more beneficial than public schools are to a student's educational success because of the teachers. Thank you.
All right, thanks everyone. We're done, right?